The smallest contribution can help deliver diverse
You got
and
your live
authentic
mixer, you
voices
got the
from the
Serato,
many
you got
communities of
Serato
South
DJ.
Minneapolis.
Man.
Yo, 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 yo. Once again, love, peace, and big booty Care Bears live aboard the hovercraft of relaxation. This is Tweet Central Lounge on KRSM 98.9 FM, where it's radio for all. And I'm your laid back but never too chill host by the name of Drunken, M-O-N-K with the 3 E's. Drunken, M-O-N-K with the 3 E's. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here with me, and I love you for that. If I could make you some hash browns, I would. If I could make you some cinnamon toast crunch, French toast, I would, but I can't. If I could just make you some delicious food, I would, but I can't. All I could do is play the best in feel-good music from local and independent artists from around the world, topics of news, guest interviews, live studio performances, and so much more. It's just a couple of reasons why we all love to tune in to Tweet Central Lounge on KRSM 98.9 FM. When I came into this new year, everybody, I told you all my focus is not just to play grooves and vibes for you all that most radio stations don't play. I told you all my focus is also to outline some of the most innovative artists, business owners, grassroots, all the above people in this world to let you all know about it. And that's the beauty of Tweet Central Lounge. We love to interview guests. Years later, we done interviewed over 300 and some chicken nuggets of guests. I'm talking about ranging from martial artists to local and independent artists, to famous jazz legends like Tom Brown, Lonnie Liston Smith, Hypnotic Brass Ensemble. I'm talking about all praises be unto the Most High. It's been a ride and we still going hard. Today in my Dante Wilder voice, to this day.
Yeah, what you talking about, man?
Matter of fact, let me get a mic check right quick. Mic check it right quick, brother.
Hello, hello.
There you go. There he go.
Salutations.
Bruce Leroy, baby brother, cousin. So like I was saying, one thing that I love about Tweet Central Lounge Radio is that we've been able to like interview just some amazing people. And we have always kept the interviews organically professional. We do not send questions to them ahead of time because I want to make it like it's home. I want to make it like it's a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the things that we love to do. Peace to my homegirl by the name of Sayana on the mic. Because Sayana on the mic, she started doing these events. Focusing on community conversations with hip-hop artists. Focus on forgiveness. Focus on healing. And focus on a lot of other topics that normally get swept under the rug. And she wanted to do this with some hip-hop artists. So I was like, yo, I want to make sure that I show up and show out and help promote this event, as well as the people that's going to be talking on this. And the next event that Sayana is going to be doing is going to be focused on healing. And you know what I'm saying? She got this brother on the panel. I'm talking about hip-hop producer, artist, songwriter, Lupe Fiasco, baby brother, cousin, next door neighbor. I'm talking about even when his brother is at work, this dude is a human walking beat machine. You know, is it okay to say that, brother?
I have no qualms with that, brother. I have no qualms.
Yeah! Okay, I'm sorry. I got excited, brother. This brother energy is getting me excited. So everybody, I need you to pour you a cup of coffee. Pour you a glass of orange juice and all the above, because I got my special guest, hip-hop producer, artist by the name of Leroy Curriculum, live and direct in the building with us. Peace and blessings to you, King. That's the energy right there. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Trying to make sure everything's stabilized so that way I don't get it all too out of hand, though. But it's an honor to be up here. I appreciate you so much for providing a platform for me to speak on here.
I feel you, brother. Now, after me just giving you that introduction, please allow yourself to reintroduce yourself to the people that know the brand and the people that don't know your brand, King.
Of course. All right. So let me do the breakdown. So my moniker is Leroy Curriculum. However, my birth name is Zachary Bailey. I didn't get to Minnesota until like about 2016. I'm a fellow Chicagoan with this brother right here.
Yeah.
My parents originated from Argyle Gardens in the south side of the city.
What?
Yes, sir.
What you know about them Argyle Gardens,
Yes,
the
sir.
Wild Hundreds?
A.K.A. Toxic Donut.
Oh, man. You know about it.
Man.
You know about it. Larry
Man.
Hoover. No, I'm just playing.
Got thrown a couple of them in there. But, however, my upbringing has been kind of a mixed bag a little bit. In a short amount of time, I spent some time in Indianapolis. However, most of my upbringing in my youth was in Memphis, Tennessee. So,
what up, man?
you know the slang, you know
Yeah.
joint. You know what I'm saying? Got
Yes,
different
sir.
type of vernacular down there.
Yeah.
So I spent most of my years down in Memphis. I got there around like 2006 and didn't leave until like 2015.
Yeah.
So mostly North Memphis, the Raleigh, Frazier area. For all my Memphis back in the 901 know about that.
They know about that player fly in the 666
Project
Mafia.
Pat, you know
they
what I'm
know
saying?
about that, yeah. Tommy Wright the Third,
Yes, sir.
Skinny Pimp, man,
Yes, sir.
yeah. My family
Yeah.
is from North Memphis as well.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, the Sheltons, Summeralls,
Okay.
a big church family out there, and all the above, bro.
It's a small world.
It is.
Small world.
Educate us on what got you into hip hop, bro, especially being a hip hop producer that you are.
Of course. So I dabbled a little bit in poetry and hip hop in my teenage years, but even before that, in my youth, I was still we're still playing a lot of hip hop music, where we talk about NWA out on the West Coast, or like Cool G Rap, or in Memphis, of course, Project Pat, 3-6 Mafia, even Mystical. So I really started to dabble more into it in my teenage years. I started to write more poetry and all that. However, I took a little hiatus after that when I was going through a transition in college.
Yeah.
But during college, it kind of resurfaced. So I used to record little bitty raps on SoundCloud. Just finding instrumentals on the internet of popular beats and stuff like that, trying to get my hand on there. But it wasn't until more in the late 2010s I started to gravitate more into it. So I first really started to get more on Instagram and just posting, just rapping over different type of instrumentals, and also meeting other producers and other different type of groups on Instagram, so that way, hey, they can maybe provide me a original production.
Yeah.
And I was able to get off on that. I was able to, release a little bit of material here and there. And I actually didn't start getting to production until mid to late 2020. So I started to play around with Serato, because at one point I purchased Serato. I had a whole bunch of sound packs in my DAW. I started to just play around with the pitches and all that stuff, and I kind of man, I got to the hook of it. Ooh, it sounds really good.
Yeah.
I like how I did it. And then, but however, it was still a slow process of trying to get more intricate in it.
I feel
So
that.
I started to get more advice from people that they were producers themselves. They taught me different terms, how do I get this on grid? So it's called quantizing. You want to quantize your drums and all that stuff. Little bitty terms that helped me out. And then on top of that, I went back into Serato and started doing more chops and variations. And that's when okay, now I feel like I got the gist of it.
I feel that.
So I'm more of a sample-based producer. I'm still trying to learn more about original compositions, but it's something about hearing certain sounds, whether that's original samples or from old songs, old jazz records and stuff like that.
Keep it 100.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you said that, because I never, it's something about me. Shout out to my dude Soul 2 Dots, where we always build and talk about the groove. When it came to Jay Dilla production, he got that groove. Madlib got that groove, because they do a lot of sampling. Especially they sample a lot of music from our grandparents' generation, our parents' generation, because that was all live instrumentation.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Brothers and sisters was really out there jamming on the guitar, on the drums, really going hard. So I get you on that, my G.
Man.
Educate us on where the name come from, bro, because with a name like that, when I seen that name, I'm like, yo, this brother has to be intelligent, positive as hell, and just got a strong belief in themselves, got a strong belief system, because like when I thought about the name, I'm like, to take Bruce Leroy and then mix it with like something dealing with like school and education. I was like, yo, that's ill right there. So educate us on your name, where the name come from.
Very well. Okay. Well, before it was Leroy Curriculum, I went by Doc Bravado because it's tricked out. It's tripped out.
Hey,
it's tripped out. So at first I thought I was going to go into the medical field, going to college. However, let's just say that didn't really pan out the way I
wanted it to.
But during college, however, how I came across that moniker. So again, we referenced Leroy, Bruce Leroy from Last Dragon. You know what I'm saying? No show enough and all that.
All that.
But also just a reference to like the old blaxploitation films from the 1970s. Like a lot of the leads, the black male leads, be like Leroy or something like that. So that kind of popped up in my mind. And then the curriculum part was attributed back also when I was living in Memphis. We had these old encyclopedias.
Okay.
These donated encyclopedias, and sometimes, a lot of times when I was bored, I didn't have any video games or something like that, I was just like looking into an encyclopedia and just read about different information and all that. And then also back in high school, I used to be part of advanced placement biology. And they used to be like these quizzes every Friday with like root words and prefixes and stuff. So I was so once that culminated together, like, oh, okay, this kind of sticks a little bit. This is like somebody they hear that name, they like pop up like that's not conventional, but let me just check it out. I want that curiosity to kind of be implanted in their head.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking too, like Del the Funky Homo Sapien, like around that type of feel. Cause Del Funky Homo Sapien is like one of my biggest inspirations.
Wow.
When it comes to MCs.
Wow. You said Del the Funky Homo Sapien, G. One of my favorite cuts from Del, and I love when he really started doing this album that was like futuristic. I may say the song wrong, but unlink your brain matter, because one day it may matter. Yo,
you talking about the Deltron 3030 album?
Yes.
With Dan the Automator?
And then that's what made me really fall into love with Dan the Automator, because he dropped the Loveridge album. And that's when, coming from Chicago, Southside Inglewood, like I'm leaving my hood, I'm going downtown, I'm going to Columbia College, DePaul, so I'm being around other musical heads that's putting me on like electronic, putting me on like overseas music. Mm-hmm. So to go from listening to Master P in high school, Mystical when he got on No Limit and all that, 666 Mafia, to go to like Bjork, Tricky, Portishead, it was like an adventure, and that Deltronic was a part of that, G. So thank you for bringing that up, dog.
Likewise.
Yeah. You got something coming up, man, with you doing with Sayana on the mic. Educate us on this community conversation that you're going to be a panel on.
Man, major salutes and major respects to her. I think the first time I ever met her was it was at an event called Tangible Thoughts. It was an event. I think it was curated by another artist by the name of Ricky Monet.
Okay.
She was there. She had performed. If anybody knows Sienna, like they know she's a mic killer.
That's MC Light, baby sister, right there.
Just a phenomenal MC.
Yeah.
So, we stay connected. Stay connected. Throughout. And just recently when she was talking about this event and she mentioned that she wanted me to be part of it, like, oh, okay, of course.
Especially because the conversation, if I'm correct, like I did it with Louis Blaze, I did it with Southside Nucky. It was a beautiful event, especially because you had melanated men on the stage being vulnerable, tearing up, crying, talking about, the relationships we wanted with our Father centered around forgiveness. So I believe with you all, it's going to be focused on healing. And, for you, brother, especially like you spent years of going to school, you thought it was going to be this one way and then it didn't turn out that way. Because let's be real, like colleges be overcharging.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And like, you put up all that money, you doing all this, and then it's like one day you realize like, damn, this is not for me. Right. So it could create some type of trauma around like what a person is going to say, oh, you a failure, you didn't do this and do that.
Resentment, because at some points like the education may not have an ROI. And I'm not trying to deter anybody for pursuing their education.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, if you're trying to do something for the betterment of not only you, but also can contribute to society.
Yeah.
I have no qualms with that. I have no qualms, you know, in fact, we need to praise people, whether that's white collar or blue collar, that's trying to do better.
Yeah.
Than praise a lot of degeneracy at times.
That's real.
Yeah, like, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because it's been moments during that whole transition period of like things not panning out to my favor.
Yeah.
That I felt maybe a little bit of resentment or a little bit of regret. However, that's the past.
Yeah.
That's the past, and I have the control over things that I have control over. If there's things that's outside of my control, what can I do?
Yeah.
What can I do in order to, do that? Unfortunately, it's out of my hands.
That's real.
But I have to be able to acknowledge certain things and recognize certain things and take insight from proper sources.
Yeah.
That have their best interests.
Yeah.
And try to move forward in the proper direction. So
that's real.
That's kind of like my take on that.
And brother, before I get you up out of here and cue up one of your joints, how important is the conversation for us to start talking about healing in the melanated community?
Vital.
And just all the above. I don't want to make it about color, but when it comes to like the melanated community, for years we went through hold it together. Men don't cry. Be a man. Don't cry. My homie just got killed. Don't cry. They shooting at my school. Don't cry. And it's like, whoa, G, it's like I'm in pain. I'm hurting. So how important is healing when it comes to like the community, when it comes to you? What did your healing look like, getting over that hump over like, yo, I'm back home. I'm starting from scratch again. You know what I'm saying? No more meal cards. No more trying to get to class. Now I'm here and I'm like, yo, where do I begin? How was that healing process for you and important for the community?
It was vital. I had to retrace steps. I had to figure out, okay, I'm in this position right now. Is there any alternative for me? Even if it doesn't directly go in towards another educational route, there has to be another alternative for me to find a niche and to be able to do something. So with that, after post-secondary education was not as not as present anymore. I went to the military. I went to the Army Reserves for a little bit, just to see if I still had the opportunity to go back in education. But even with that, if I didn't want to pursue it, still, what can I take from that experience being in the military that can, that can bring back some structure, bring back some structure, and bring back some good practices that I can be able to apply in my life. And that's one thing. And that may not even sound to some people healing, because of course you're in an environment where you're instructed to do certain things. You have to learn how to do combat. You have to learn how to work under stressful environments. And, being under stress is counterproductive to being able to heal and being able to decompress at that moment in time. But what I took out of that experience though was that I need to figure out a way.
Yeah.
I need to figure out a way. Otherwise, if I just stay stagnant and not taking any attempts, then what's there to do?
Yeah.
Then just age on in and just think about what could have been, what other variables or what other paths I could have chosen.
That's real.
I'm still trying to figure out some other points in terms of like if there's a relevance to healing.
That's real.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to play one of your cuts, G. I want to play one of your instrumentals. I want to introduce the people to your style. I want you to introduce what song you want me to play. Is it Bliss or Not, or either ramen and corn beef hash? I think I like that corn beef hash joint right there, G.
Well, if you have an appetite for that, we can go ahead and play that and serve it to him.
My G. And where was you at? Where was you at when you created that masterpiece? What was going on that day with you?
So that's another instrumental I actually made in my job, and I came up with that title was when I was in Memphis. We used to live around this Family Dollar.
Mm.
So sometimes we had to scrape up a little bit of money, to get something cheap to eat, fill our bellies in until my dad get that check the next day. So there was ramen noodles and some corned beef hash. We would use it just to make a quick meal, make sure we had some nourishment. So when I made that beat, I was like thinking of a title like what can probably bring an appetite to the mind, but also just from my experience too. So
yo, that's real. That's real. Once again, everybody, we building with Leroy, not Green, Leroy Curriculum, live and direct aboard the hovercraft of relaxation. Tweet Central Lounge, 98.9 FM, Feel Good Fridays. We're going to let it breathe right quick and play this cut by this brother called Ramen and Corn Beef Hash. Yo, I felt that, G. We didn't came a long way from government cheese and syrup sandwiches, bro. And thank you for that realness, because it's real,
anytime,
bro.
anytime.
It's real. You all stay tuned, because I'll be right back with this brother. Tweet Central Lounge, KRSM, 98.9 FM is a whole vibe that pour barbecue on your back like, ha.